Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. I am super excited to be back with my dear friend, the one and only Angie Lee Aki with Ohana Investment Partners. But we're not here specifically to talk about that. This is Bless Your Business, and we're going to talk about investments and business and ERC and all sorts of fun things. But today we're really going to focus on ERC. And I know we've been out of it for a little bit, and that is all on me, but we had to take a break because Ted needed a little bit of a break to catch up on some things. That's how business goes. So I'm super excited to have Angie back. Thanks for being patient and welcome back, Angie. How's it going?
Of course. Thanks for having me. It's going very well. Very well. No complaints. So I'm happy to be here today and happy to share different ways that we can bless your business. And I know we've talked about the employee retention credit before, but we're going to dive in a little bit deeper today. And we're also going to talk about the current, some of the things currently going on with the IRS and ERC so that you can understand that as a business owner as well.
Yes. So I want to take a deep dive into that because I feel like there's so much money still on the table where it comes from ERC. And then each week with Bless Your Business, we're going to talk about topics that we believe will help bless your business, usually by blessing others, but definitely something to help you because I think a lot of people are struggling, trying to figure out their way in this economy, this market, trying to figure out new things to do. And we want to provide you those tools. So ERC, though, is big on the list because it is just like this money that's sitting there. And a lot of people think that they've already missed the opportunity. A lot of people still don't know what it even means. And so we have the resident expert, in my opinion, Angie Aki here. And so tell us, give us some 411 on how this all came into play for those people who might have been under a rock the last 3 years.
Okay. So the Employee Retention Credit Program is under the CARES Act. So the CARES Act also included the Payroll Protection Program, so the PPP loans that were for a lot of businesses forgiven, and the EIDL loan, which was Economic Impact Disaster Loan. I believe that's what those stand for.
Well, don't quote you.
It was all under the CARES Act. So the employee retention credit or the employee retention tax credit is part of that credit. It's part of that act. It's very different from the other two, from PPP and EIDL, because it is not a loan in any way, shape, or form. This is money. It is a payroll tax credit. It's money you're getting back from the IRS, and it's money that you do not have to pay back. So you don't have to pay it back. You don't have to use it for certain things. You can use it for whatever your business needs.
It's so interesting to me, and I'm going to come back on this. Sorry, you're a little bit delayed, and so am I. But I think that people don't, when they think of the ERC, they think of bigger corporations, or they think, oh, everybody, it can't be me, but it's anywhere from 1 to 500. All right.
1 to 500 employees. So if you have 1 to 500 employees and you are a business owner with W-2 employees, it's worth looking into. And looking into it takes less than 10 minutes of your time with no obligation, no fee. It's for-profit businesses and non-for-profit businesses. So if you're not for profit, this is still for you as well. As long as you had W-2 employees, you can check your eligibility. So, and we can deep dive into that too. But before we look at case studies, for lack of a better term, I do want to talk about the IRS moratorium, because there is a moratorium out there right now, and the IRS is not processing any new applications right now until January. So they are expected to lift the moratorium in January. ERC is kind of like anything else in life, right? There's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so unfortunately, because this money is sitting out there and it's money that doesn't have to be paid back and it's quote unquote free money, we've had some bad actors, for lack of a better term, try to tap in and access that money in a fraudulent manner, both by creating fake businesses or putting in false claims, whatever it is. I'm sure there's a long list of things which it doesn't cross my mind, so I don't know what they are. But the IRS, okay, hold on, let's take a time out. Let's make sure that all the claims are accurate, claims that they are businesses that are established, and then we can lift the moratorium again. So they basically wanted to go through, eliminate any potential fraud that they can, go through companies that were just putting businesses through and looking at those companies, trying to figure out what they need to do to make sure their checks and balances are in place so that the appropriate businesses and the appropriate business owners get this funding, because it is really important and it's critical, but it has to go to the right people.
Yes.
So that's why the moratorium is there right now. And the company I'm affiliated with, honestly, we're in full support of it because we don't want money to go out. It's money that, that has been paid in. We don't want money to go to the wrong people. It is also helping businesses that may not have been acting in the best practices, have shuttered up. They've closed down their doors and they have run away, which that's okay too. Sometimes it takes something like this to make that happen. Again, the company I'm affiliated with, we're still processing applications. We're still filing claims, even though the IRS is not processing those right now. We're filing claims with the thought process that once the IRS opens the doors, we don't want our customers to be at the back of the line. We want them to be at the front of the line. So we're going ahead, full steam ahead. Nothing has changed for us, which really speaks to, to the integrity of the organization.
Yes. And I think it's very important you bring that up because there's a lot. I would say there's a lot of people out there who are doing work for different companies because, like with anything where there's some money to be made, a lot of people come out of the woodwork. So do your homework as a business owner. Make sure that you, obviously, I want you to work with Angie, but do your homework because a lot of people promise a lot of things that they can't deliver. And so there's charlatans out there like there are in every single industry. And this is a nice chunk of change that you could be risking if you're not working with the right company. So let's talk about that because we have lots of businesses. We have, when you mention profit and not for profit, you've got some case studies, as you said. So share a little bit with them because I think it's important that they understand the who, like the type of business so that people can go, wow, I'm that business, or wow, I fall into that category.
Sure.
I think because it's not top of mind because we're not in the throes of a huge pandemic anymore. People have forgotten, but they certainly probably have not forgotten what they went through during that time as a business owner. So I'm going to let you take it away.
Okay. So I'm going to use two different examples, but we're going to talk in general about restaurants because I have had the opportunity to work with quite a few restaurants. And I know we have a little delay, so I will apologize for that. I don't know what's going on. I blame
You're good. Your voice keeps going. It just looks like your mouth's not moving sometimes.
Okay.
That's okay. That's technology.
I don't know, technology, right? But we're going to talk about case studies. We're going to talk about restaurants. I've been able to work with a lot of restaurants, as I mentioned. And I've been able to work with restaurants that are smaller, like a boba tea company, a brewery, businesses like that, ice cream shops, which really is awesome because I love ice cream. And I've been able to work with a couple ice cream shops that I may or may not have frequented quite a lot, and coffee shops as well. So I've worked with those restaurants as well. And then restaurants that are, maybe full service dine-in restaurants, Thai restaurants, all different types of restaurants, eat-in restaurants as well. And those businesses have been able to successfully go through the eligibility criteria. They've met eligibility and have gone through the process. Some have received their funds already. Some are in the process. And then that ranges from everything from, maybe 30 or 40 grand to over 6 figures. And again, this is money that you don't have to pay back. So this can be really important to your business. It can help you scale your business, grow your business, or even recoup some of the business loss that you may have experienced. You don't have to have experienced a decrease in business, but if you did, this will help you, this can help you recoup that as well. So if you're a restaurant owner specifically, there were a lot of things that you may have had to do that may, that may enable you to be eligible for this program. So again, I direct everyone to the eligibility questionnaire. That's the best route to go. But I've worked with a lot of restaurants, and so now you know some of the true numbers,
Love it.
and it's made a huge impact.
It's
Since
huge. I mean,
yeah, it's huge. It's a big deal. It's a very big deal.
it's a big deal.
Yeah. And so since we're talking about impact, let's talk about not-for-profit. Because if you are a not-for-profit organization, you can still qualify as long as you have W-2 employees, and you can still be eligible. So there's a couple other things that go into that, but you're not-for-profit with W-2 employees, you can still tap in to this money and have access to this money. So that includes nonprofits, including service organizations, community organizations, churches, etc. So this is a really great resource for you as well. And again, it's worth the 10 minutes because I know specifically, as small businesses, we really make a dollar stretch very, very far.
Yes, we do.
As not-for-profit organizations, it is truly amazing how far they can make $1 go. And it never surprises me. I should say it always surprises me because I'm always floored and think, oh my gosh, this is what you do with $1. And as a for-profit business, we need to get better looking at that, right?
Agreed. I think nonprofits stretch that dollar to like a miracle every time.
Yes,
they get a lot of stuff out of that dollar and make such an impact. That's why something like this, I think, is just so important. Nonprofits obviously struggle just like everyone else because the economy was so impacted during the height of the pandemic. And so if for-profits aren't making the money that they wanted to make, guess who also was not going to get the donations or the manpower or the resources that they're used to getting, the not-for-profits. And so they were really, really impacted during that time. I remember we did a ton of shows for restaurants and not-for-profits during the height of the pandemic, because those were the ones that were like, what are we going to do? And for a not-for-profit, a lot of them were used to getting monies from a specific type of donor or a long-time donor. And when all of those donors were impacted, they didn't know how to reach out. So the impact was really deep, I think, in the not-for-profit sector as well.
Right. Exactly. So I've worked with a few not-for-profit organizations as well, and they've been through the process. One is going through the process right now. Another, I just looked up a couple case studies as well to provide you real numbers. And another one has started receiving checks so that you understand the checks are broken up by quarter. That's why it's not all in one lump sum. So that's how the IRS does it. And so they've already started receiving checks. And these organizations, both of them they make a huge impact in our community. And, if they're getting $70,000, $80,000 or so, and that's hugely impactful. And it all depends on the money that you've paid in, right? It depends on the number of employees you have, how long you were impacted. There's a lot of things that go into that. But if you're looking at, even if it's $30,000 to $40,000, or maybe it's over six figures, that money, if on average you're seeing $70,000 to $80,000, you're going to look on both ends, right? That's the median. So that can be really, really impactful. And I know a lot of organizations, I know two of the organizations that are near and dear to my heart and that we help support are growing and expanding, and either, growing and building out new buildings, or buying new buildings, or they're expanding into women and children's services and things like that. So just if you think about the impact of this money, it's really, really important.
It's huge. And I think, again, the reason why I really like to revisit this as often as we can on Bless Your Business is because people really, I think, have forgotten, or they think that it's too late, or they think they couldn't qualify, or they weren't impacted that much, but if you were impacted at all, it can't hurt you to do the 9 minutes, I think is the time you say, the 9 minutes for the questionnaire. And you can see this is who you're going to be talking to. So Angie wants to help you, but Angie's never going to cross the line. She's not one of those crazy charlatan people. She's got amazing work ethic and ethics in general. And if you qualify, we're going to get your application processed. Right. And if you don't qualify, she's not going to string you along and tell you that you do.
Yeah, so you'll know at the end of that application process. And the company I'm affiliated with, I mean, if you look at, and I can share their board of directors, I mean, you're looking at a national attorney general, you're looking at a state attorney general, you're looking at attorneys. They are the person that signs off on the filing is a certified payroll tax specialist. That's why I tell people sometimes some people CPAs are doing it, some people's are not. This is a certified payroll tax specialist. It's a very different specialty. So you'll know, and I am here to support you and walk you through the process, but it is this company and their payroll tax specialists that are walking through this application. They're making sure all your T's are crossed, all your I's are dotted, things like that. This is a filing with the IRS. This is something very important and something to take seriously. So we want to make sure it's done correctly so that you can get the most money that you can, but within the guidelines. And it all has to be done within the guidelines. And if you're not eligible, you're not eligible. And that's, it is what it is. That's okay.
Agreed. But why not give it 9 minutes of your life to find out?
Yeah. What else are you doing with 9 minutes, right?
I know. Have your cup of coffee. That's correct.
You may spend 9 minutes in the Starbucks line in the morning. If you're lucky, only 9 minutes, right? So if you take the time and actually spend those 9 minutes where you can get money back, it's worth it. And if for those of you that are listening to this, you may have a great relationship with Ted and you don't know me yet, and that's okay. So, we have a form that you can fill out, and then I can reach out to you. If you feel more comfortable reaching out to Ted and saying, hey, can you put me in personal contact with Angie? That's okay too. We don't, we just want to help you. And, Ted has been generous enough to partner with me in helping me get the word out, because he's been a huge supporter of our community through the pandemic. And so this is just another way, as we were talking, that we thought we could get out some more resources to our community.
That's right. It's money.
Yeah. It's money.
It's money. So why not take the 9 minutes?
Yep. Money touches everything. I told someone the other day, I said, I'm bound and determined to normalize the conversation about money, because I'm tired of people not talking about money. Money touches everything. It touches every aspect of our everydays. It touches our business in huge ways. So we need to talk about it.
We do.
This is what we're doing. Yeah.
That's what we're doing. All right, Angie, tell them for other things other than ERC, and we obviously will you can go to ohanainvestmentpartners.com. Is that the best way for people to reach you?
Yep, that's the best way for you to reach me. There's a contact form. If you want to reach out to me directly, you can fill that out. But yes, please go to ohanainvestmentpartners.com, and you can find information on ERC there, and you can contact me through there. That's the best way.
Fantastic. All right. Angie Aki, thank you so much. Bless Your Businesses every Monday at 11. Don't know what's going on with Facebook and all their insanity lately, but we'll keep it plugging along, live on all the platforms or recorded on all the platforms. Ask questions. If you're a business, we're a business during the pandemic, the height of the pandemic, and through to 2021. Please reach out to me or to Angie. Find out for the 9 minutes whether or not you might qualify as a business owner or a not-for-profit. Don't leave the money on the table. It's a beautiful thing that was given, and so why not take advantage of it? Because we all went through some craziness during that pandemic. Thank you, Angie, for imparting all your wisdom. We'll be back with another topic next week on Bless Your Business. See you guys soon. Thanks, Angie.
Thanks,
bye, everybody.